want? A choice. A chance.
There's your chance. Take it.
Grateful.
The day will come when you won't be.
What's going on, guys? Back again with another throwback review. This is going to be for Season 3, Episode 11, entitled, I Ain't a Judas. Alright, guys. This one starts with the survivors regrouping in the cell block following the governor's assault. Rick and Glenn want to stay and face the governor. Herschel brings up the fact that now Axel is dead and the only way to keep the rest of the group safe is for them to flee the prison. Merle, who is locked inside the common room, warns that the governor has enough guns and manpower to kill them all. Frustrated, Rick tries to leave the room. Get back here, Herschel yells. Yes, he said, you once said this isn't a democracy anymore. Now you need to own up to that and do something. Afterwards, Rick surveys the walker-infested prison yard from a catwalk. Carl joins him and suggests Rick should stop being the leader. He said, let Herschel and Daryl handle things. Carl says, you deserve a rest. In Woodbury, the governor tells Milton to enlist residents age 13 and up to fight. Milton calculates that will give them 35 soldiers. Andrea confronts the governor about the prison attack, reminding him of his promise to leave Rick alone. The governor claims Rick shot first. Andrea says she wants to visit the prison to try to build up a truce. You go to that prison, stay there, the governor warns. Outside, Karen complains to Andrea that the governor is making a 14-year-old asthmatic boy fight. Andrea challenges Martinez, but he insists the only way to defend the town is to raise an army. Back at the prison, Rick and the others prepare for battle. Glenn objects to Merle's presence and suggests handing him over to the governor. But Herschel points out that Merle has valuable military experience. Later, Herschel chats with Merle in his cell, and the two bond over their amputations and mutual appreciation of the Holy Bible. Merle warns Herschel about the governor. He said he'll save Rick for last so he can watch his whole family and friends die ugly. That's who you're dealing with. Meanwhile, the governor surveys Woodbury's new army. When Andrea appeals to him to excuse the asthmatic boy, he ignores her. In the prison cell block, Carol visits Daryl and expresses relief at his return. She said, he's your brother, but he's not good for you, talking about Merle. And she said, don't let him bring you down. Back in Woodbury, Andrea asks Milton to help her escape so she can discuss a truce with Rick, but he balks at the idea of betraying the governor. In his apartment, the governor removes the gauze from his eye. He places a patch over the wound as Milton arrives to report on Andrea's request. She asks for help. The governor says, help her. Milton escorts Andrea through the forest where they capture a walker and hack off its arms and teeth. As they fight off more walkers, they run into Tyrese and his crew. At the prison, Merle tries to make peace with Michonne. He said, I've done a lot of things I ain't proud of. Hope we can get past this. Michonne glares silently back at him. Milton agrees to take Tyrese and his group to Woodbury. Andrea continues on to the prison with the armless, toothless walker as her guardian angel, quote unquote. Andrea approaches the prison where Carl spots her through the binoculars. Are you alone? Rick yells as he approaches. He shoves her against the fence and searches her. Welcome back, he says. Rick brings Andrea inside the prison. She insists she's on their side, but Rick has his doubts. We had that field courtyard until your boyfriend tore down the fence with a truck and shot us up, he says. She begs Rick to work on a peaceful agreement, but Herschel doubts the governor has any desire to negotiate. Outside, Andrea accuses Michonne of turning the group against her. Michonne counters that Andrea is living under the governor's spell and reveals that he sent Merle to kill her. Michonne says she went back to Woodbury to unmask the governor, adding, I knew it would hurt you. Meanwhile, the governor visits with Tyrese and his group in Woodbury's infirmary. He welcomes them to stay as long as they like, then brings up Rick's group. Tyrese recounts his experience at the prison and offers to join the fight. Whatever we gotta do to earn our keep, he says. Back at the prison, Andrea cradles Judas as Carol urges to take action against the governor. You need to sleep with him, give him the greatest night of his life, Carol advises. Get him to drop his guard, and then when he's sleeping, you can end this. Later, Rick gives Andrea a card to return to Woodbury. Be careful, he says, handing her a gun and a knife. When she arrives in Woodbury, Andrea visits the governor at home and confesses that she visited the prison. He sent you back here, the governor asks. No, that was my call, she says, because you belong here, he says before kissing her. Beth begins to sing as a song as the group wind down in their cell block. That evening, Rick tells Daryl and Herschel that he's taking Michonne and Carl on a run for more guns the next day. Rick tells Daryl, keep an eye on your brother. If he causes any problem, it's on you. Meanwhile, Andrea lies in bed with the governor who's fast asleep. She pulls out a knife and holds it over the sleeping body, but then turns away, unable to kill him. She moves over to the window and stares out, the knife still in her hand, as the episode ends. So yeah, guys, that's pretty quick, pretty good little episode following the governor's attack on the prison on the in the last episode. Andrea going there trying to spark up a truce, but Rick wasn't having none of that. He wasn't trusting her and everything, and then she almost went through with killing the governor in his sleep, like Carol suggested, but she couldn't do it, and maybe that's why it said I ain't a Judas. She wasn't going to turn against the governor, but it also could mean she's not a Judas to the prison people. She's trying to convince them that she's still on their side. So kind of a cool title to the episode. That makes sense either way. But like I said, that was my quick rundown review of Season 3, Episode 11, entitled I Ain't a Judas. I appreciate y'all checking this out as always, and I will be back soon with another video. Y'all be good.
Pushing my pants yet?